You ask AI a question. It gives you a confident, detailed answer, citations included. Sounds authoritative. Then you check. The book doesn't exist. The statistic is invented. The confident fact was completely made up. What happened? Why does AI sometimes lie with such conviction? The answer isn't that it wants to deceive you. It's that it doesn't know the difference between what's true and what sounds true. Remember, AI is a prediction machine. It predicts what word comes next based on patterns learned from training data. When you ask a factual question, it predicts what a factual answer would look like. And often, it gets this right, because factual answers have patterns too. But sometimes, what sounds right isn't right. The capital of France is Paris, sounds right, and is right. The capital of Australia is Sydney, sounds right, and is wrong. The prediction machine doesn't know the difference. It just knows what sounds likely. Authoritative text as a sound. Academic writing, expert explanations, confident declarations, they share patterns of certainty. AI learned these patterns. So when it generates an answer, it often generates it in the confident style that factual answers usually have. The confidence isn't a judgment that the answer is correct. It's just the pattern of how true things tend to be stated. AI adopted the style without the substance. This is why it can say false things with complete conviction. The conviction is a linguistic pattern, not an assessment of truth. Researchers call this hallucination. When AI generates content that sounds plausible but is factually wrong or entirely made up. The term is borrowed from psychology, perceiving something that isn't there. AI perceives, predicts facts that don't exist because the pattern suggested them. It might have meant to study, fabricate a quote, create a citation for a book that was never written. Not because it's lying, but because that's what its patterns predicted should come next. It's not deceit, it's completion. The same process that lets it write poetry also lets it invent facts. You might think, just teach it to only say true things. But truth isn't something AI can verify. It doesn't have access to real-time information. It doesn't have a way to check external sources during response generation. It only has patterns. Researchers work on this constantly, building systems that check facts, training models to express uncertainty, adding guardrails. Progress is real. But the fundamental issue remains. Pattern matching isn't fact-checking. AI can learn to sound less confident about uncertain things. It can't learn to actually verify truth from within its own weights. Once you understand this, you calibrate. Treat AI like a brilliant but unreliable friend who has read everything but sometimes misremembers. Take the answer as a starting point, not an end point. Check claims that matter. Verify citations. Google the facts before you act on them. Be especially careful with specific numbers, quotes, dates, and obscure topics. These are where hallucination is most likely. AI is a drafting tool, a thinking partner, a generator of possibilities. It's not a fact checker. Bring your own skepticism. There's something uncomfortable about this. We're used to confident sources being reliable. When someone speaks with certainty, we tend to believe them. AI speaks with certainty because that's the pattern of factual discourse. But the certainty is disconnected from truth. It's stylistic, not substantive. This requires a new kind of literacy. Reading AI output the way you might read a stranger's claim on the internet, with interest, with engagement, but with your own verification, ready to deploy. AI doesn't lie the way a person lies. It doesn't know what truth is, so it can't knowingly deviate from it. What it does is predict, and sometimes prediction produces fiction that looks like fact. The book that doesn't exist, the quote that was never said, the statistic that sounds perfect but was manufactured from patterns. This isn't a flaw you can fix by being clever. It's inherent to how language models work. They're prediction machines, not truth machines. So the responsibility shifts to you to verify what matters, to hold confident claims loosely until you've checked. AI can help you think. It can help you draft. It can help you explore. But when it tells you something is true, that's your cue to check. Because confidence, in this case, means nothing at all. The lie isn't malicious. It's just a guess that sounded good. And distinguishing good sounding from true, that's still a human job. The future's already here, and you get to decide who you are in it. Please subscribe. Please like.
Just be.